Today is January 1st, and the message for today is, when we expect our child to listen to us, when we have not first taken the time to hear and understand what they need, we are sending a message out that listening is not important. Now, some of you may not have children, so you're thinking, well, how does this relate? Well, I think one of the ways it relates is that oftentimes we expect a certain behavior from people, but it's not the behavior we're giving. And I don't think we should ever expect that people should act a particular way if we don't act that way towards them. And it's a huge mistake we make. We're expecting, this is your position, so you should act in a certain way, even though I don't act that way. So in this example, we're expecting someone, in this case a child, but it could be anyone, to listen to us and understand us when we are not listening and understanding them, or we're not able to listen, we're not trying to listen and understand them. I see oftentimes in relationships where we may not be as kind as we should be, but we're expecting the other person to be kind. We may not be as tolerant as we should be, but we're expecting the other person to be tolerant. No, it's your duty, you should be. Or we are not as understanding as we should be, and we're expecting the other person to understand us. So I think it's a huge relationship error, because we think a person in a certain position should act a certain way, even if we don't act that way. And that's, it's like I often say, that's like a spiritual master asking obedience, but not setting a good example. A father asking obedience, but not setting a good example. And this is what has corrupts this whole system of offering respect up. We offer respect to the father, to the mother, to the elder brother, to the teacher, to the king, to the leader, the temple president, to the spiritual master. But if they don't set the proper example, it makes it very difficult for us to offer them respect. So if we want people to act the way we want them to act, then we should model those activities. We should act that way. Oftentimes, when devotees complain to Srila Prabhupada that so-and-so is acting improperly, and Prabhupada would say, you act that way, you set the example for them. So act the way you want everyone else to act. And one little thought at the end of this, and just a little icing on the cake, is whatever you tell other people to do, whatever advice you give other people, do that yourself.